Hi everybody, John Arhan with the Pulsing Cinema, and today's movie is Friday the 13th Part 2, 1981, and at this point, Sean Cunningham and the powers that be at Paramount were like, screw it, let's just do a Halloween ripoff. If Michael Myers is going to be the West Coast chill slasher, Jason is like the East Coast country bumpkin cousin. He's gonna be, So all right, so okay, so it was Jason's mother in the first film. In the second film, it starts out with a really eerie close-up of boots on a wet sidewalk. Where Adrienne King, the ingenue from the final girl from the first film, is wiped out. And apparently Adrienne King had a stalker, a crazy obsessive stalker, and wanted her ass out of the movie, didn't want to continue. It'd be interesting to see what the slasher movie history would have been if it would have been a continuation with Adrienne King, if it would have been like the final girl goes into the second film. Maybe that would have been a trend in slasher films, that you have a final girl from one film and she goes into the next film and whatever. But the die was cast with Friday 1 and 2 that, when you flip to a sequel, either almost everyone from the original film is gone, or they're killed very quickly in the second film. They're toast. And that's what happens in this film. In this film, Jason doesn't have his hockey mask yet. He's wearing a pillowcase, some kind of sack over his head or some crap. Very kind of reminiscent of The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Again, the one thing in the Friday the 13th is that the origin of Friday the 13th is full of rip-offs. It's just a big ripperoni. That's what Friday the 13th is, Scenes ripped off from Mario Bava films, the fucking white sack ripped off from The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And now that I think about it, the beginning, when you think about the first thing we see in Friday 2, the close-up of the boots, the shoes walking around, and how do we begin Town That Dreaded Sundown? The exact same way, close-up of the boots walking through the town, the unseen killer, his boots. So Friday 2 pretty much established the archetype of what's going on. Get a bunch of teenagers. They're at the Camp Crystal Lake. They're usually setting up Camp Crystal Lake. Usually the kids are not there yet, and then Jason comes in, picks them off one by one. I don't know. I mean, I never really liked Friday 2. I thought it was a second tier Friday sequel, and I rewatched it recently on the Blu-ray, and I do like the fact that Jason in this film is kind of a fuck up. He scurries across the road early on, and then there's a scene where he's trying to set up a kill, and like the woman's underneath the bed. I think it's Amy Steele's underneath the bed, and you remember this? He does it with the pitchfork. He's like he's supposed to be on a chair, he's doing one of those gags where he's like on a chair, he's somewhere else, and then he ramps down and he fucks up, he falls off the fucking chair like a fucking retard. But I mean, it's realistic. I mean, imagine if you were trying to do that in real life, you probably would screw up, you'd probably fall off the chair. So so those some realistic touches. Jason he's a country bumpkin in Part 2, and then he's got his mother's head. He's got her on the altar on his little table there. It's real, how cute, and he just gets sliced up in the end. And so Amy Steele, the lead actress, pretty good. There was that one actress cute in the beginning, where we begin with the woman with the large bosoms, and she was quite good. She's an interesting actress. But in Friday films, you don't really get much nudity. There's not a lot of sensuality. The sensuality is in the violence, and Jason's penetration could almost be seen as this kind of weird pseudo-sexual act, if you're a real sicko, which, hey, whatever. But I mean, I watched these films when I was like 5 or 6 years. I came out fine. No, nothing. No scratches. No mental injury at all. But anyway, that's Friday 2. For me, a lesser tiered Friday, but by the end of Friday 2, we set up the archetype. There's a crazy killer in the woods. He's killing the counselors, and at the end of the movie, we got a girl who offs him, and that's it. There you go. Cut, print, end story. Rinse, wash, repeat.